Hey everybody, it's Zach from SharkyBite back with another awesome release. We have stuff for our Ocean as well as stuff for our plugin today. Don't forget, as a quick recap, we are up to 101 tools in a single plugin. We take less than a second with all of our tools enabled off your login time. If you would like to try out our plugin, you do not need to contact us. It takes less than 60 seconds to register on our website, download and install into your TEBE environment. And don't forget, we are also month to month, just like Netflix. No long-term contracts for both our plugin as well as our Ocean products. Alright, let's dig in. We are going to start with our Ocean updates. So for the email automation, we have added the most recent attachment only option. What this will do is, as it's cycling through attachments and document buckets, it will attach only the most recent. You can pair this along with current version only if you want, so that it gets the most recent current version marked attachment. Next, we have an update to FEMA, which is giving you the ability to search for only individual assistance-based disasters. Tonight, we also have an update coming for reporting capabilities for the email tool. Stay tuned for that. And switching over to the plugin side. First, we are going to start with the analysis tool. We have added custom fields. So you are now able to not just use the test triggers function to calculate and analyze them that way, but you can also now search through them here. Number 2 is going to be for the grid color. So if we go over here and we go to our test here, we now have two new options: next X date, or days X days ago, or date X days ago, and date after X days. So if you wanted to do something like at least 10 days ago or further, or after, if the date is after 10 days from now or 10 days from a field date, you can now do that. For the next thing, we have an update to pipeline transfer. So when you're doing your pipeline view transfers, instead of just transferring to a user, you can now do it by user group to transfer to all the users in the user group, or you can do it by persona, so all of the users that have that persona. Next up is going to be for pretty print conditions. Now there was a ton of updates to this. Just to kind of recap what this is for, this tool allows you to print out all the different conditions as well as documents, and allows you to do all kinds of fancy stuff like printing a cover sheet, using bullet point style or grid style printing. You can control what color the template is. You can further control what color the individual conditions are based on what property values are for those conditions or documents. You can also do filtering for each individual condition or document. So if you wanted to add filters to only return certain conditions or documents, we've also given you the ability to customize the name. So if you don't want it to say post-closing conditions, if you want it to say something else, for each of the options here, you can do that. Let's see here. And also, if you want, you can only, before we had it default to you needing to select a property other than name and description, and it would automatically print the name and description plus the property. Now, if you just want to print the name of the condition or document, you can do just that. If you don't select any of the properties, it will not print anything in here. And then also groupings, they go in order, which is why we have the up-down buttons here. So the first selected thing is what all your conditions or documents will attempt to be grouped by, and then the second thing. So if your conditions are first grouped by milestone and then by type, you'll get all of, let's say, the processing conditions, and then in those processing conditions, they will be grouped by type. I believe that is it for the updates for Pretty Print conditions. Also, the last thing we fixed for this was the page cutoff. So now everything prints perfect. Doesn't matter how long the conditions or how many properties you select. There's a smart cutoff so that you don't have conditions getting printed cut off in the middle in between pages. So that's it for Pretty Print conditions. Loan folder field. So this would be under our Virtual Fields plugin. If you wanted to know what loan folder to use for business rules a loan is in, you can use our new field cx.sb.loanfolder. Sandbox mode. We had another update for that. So if you wanted to know when a loan is in sandbox mode to do something, we have now a modification to our cx.sb.misc trigger field. It will get set to sandbox mode active with no spaces, so you can use that in your business rules if you wanted to apply anything or disable anything on your own. Batch update. So for batch update, we now have a configuration that allows you to override the credentials. So if you have non-super admin users that you want to be able to use the batch tool, you can do that. Put in your super credentials into here, and then it will use these credentials when doing a batch update. For the batch tool, we now have this new button up here that allows you to copy and paste. So you can go into Excel, copy the data, including the field ID headers, and then hit this paste button, and that'll paste them down here so you don't have to use the import button if you don't want. Another new tool that we have for this release is going to be the post-closing condition map. Works very similar or exactly the same as the enhanced condition map. This just allows you to map out a condition in a property to a custom field. So if you wanted to track a specific condition's certain property, you can now do that. Some bug fixes. So for the impersonate feature, when you were returning to yourself in the settings, it wasn't reapplying some of your privileges back. That is now fixed. Next up would be our USPS validation. So there was an issue where if you're using a zip code that started with zeros, it wasn't validating correctly. That has been fixed. Let's see here. And I believe that's it. So that will do it for our release. If you have any questions, always feel free to contact us. Don't forget, both of our products, Ocean and Plugin, are both $1,000 a month for all access, no tiers, and no contract subscriptions. So you don't have to worry about any lengthy contracts. It's month to month. Have a great day.